Welcome back to Nation of Glory, your home of stories that touch the heart, ignite inspiration, and celebrate the souls who left their mark on this world. Today, we remember a man who lived his life in the fast lane, both on screen and off it. A man whose smile could light up a room, whose heart was as big as his fame, and whose legacy continues to inspire millions. This is the story of Paul Walker, not just the star of Fast and Furious, but a humble, kind, and passionate soul who taught the world what it means to live fast, but love deeper. Paul William Walker was born on September 12, 1973, in Glendale, California. From the very beginning, he wasn't destined for just fame, he was destined to connect with people in a way that very few ever do. His mother, Cheryl, was a fashion model, and his father, Paul Walker III, was a sewer contractor and a two-time Golden Gloves champion boxer. You could say that passion and drive were in his DNA. Paul started his acting career early, appearing in TV commercials when he was just a toddler. He didn't grow up dreaming of Hollywood red carpets, he simply loved performing. By the time he was a teenager, he was appearing in shows like Charles in Charge and Highway to Heaven. But his real breakthrough came in 2001, when he was cast as Brian O'Connor, the undercover cop who became family in The Fast and the Furious. That movie changed everything. It wasn't just about cars, racing, or action, it was about loyalty, brotherhood, and family. And Paul embodied that perfectly. His chemistry with Vin Diesel was so real, it didn't look like acting, it looked like two brothers living their truth. Behind the scenes, Paul wasn't the flashy Hollywood type. He was grounded, funny, and deeply kind. He didn't chase fame, he chased sunsets, waves, and the simple joy of being alive. Away from the spotlight, Paul was an adventurer. He loved the ocean. He studied marine biology and even joined research trips to explore the sea. He was fascinated by nature, by the things that reminded him that life was about more than money and fame. And then came something that showed the true essence of Paul Walker: reach out worldwide. After seeing the devastation caused by the 2010 Haiti earthquake, Paul didn't just donate money. He flew there himself with a team of doctors, paramedics, and volunteers to help people in need. That's who he was, a man of action, not words. He founded Reach Out Worldwide to bring aid and hope to disaster zones across the globe. He once said, "You put good out into the world, and good will come back to you." And he lived by that every day. Even though Paul became a global superstar with Fast and Furious, fame never changed him. He drove his own cars, stopped for fans, and often helped strangers on the street. People close to him say that he was happiest when he was with his daughter, Meadow. She was his world, his anchor, his everything. Paul wasn't just an actor or a humanitarian, he was a devoted father who found his greatest role in being a dad. But then came November 30, 2013, a day that fans and loved ones will never forget. Paul was attending a charity event for Reach Out Worldwide to raise money for victims of Typhoon Haiyan in the Philippines. He took a quick ride in a Porsche Carrera GT driven by his friend, Roger Rodas. What happened next broke millions of hearts. The car crashed, killing both Paul and Roger instantly. The world stopped. Fans, friends, and co-stars couldn't believe it. It didn't feel real, it felt like a scene from a movie, except this time, the hero didn't walk away. Vin Diesel said that losing Paul was like losing a brother. And when he named his daughter Pauline, it was his way of keeping his brother's spirit alive forever. The Fast and Furious family carried his legacy forward, with Furious 7 serving as a tribute not just to the character Brian O'Connor, but to the man behind it. The final scene with Brian driving into the sunset became one of the most emotional moments in movie history. The song "See You Again" played, and the world cried together. It wasn't just the end of a movie, it was a goodbye to a man who had become part of our lives. But Paul Walker's story didn't end there. His light never faded. His charity continues its mission, led by his daughter Meadow, who carries her father's legacy with strength and grace. She speaks often about how her dad inspired her to live with kindness, compassion, and courage. Paul's fans around the world still honor him through car meets, donations, and moments of silence. They don't just remember his roles, they remember his heart. Because Paul wasn't just acting on screen, he was being himself. The loyalty, the love, the quiet strength, all of it was real. He once said, "If one day the speed kills me, do not cry because I was smiling." And maybe that's the truest reflection of who Paul Walker was, a man who lived life full throttle, not afraid of risk because he knew that every moment was worth living. Every smile he gave, every act of kindness, every person he helped, that's what people remember. That's the kind of legacy most can only dream of leaving behind. Even now, when fans watch Fast and Furious, they don't just see an actor. They see a brother, a father, and a man whose spirit still rides with them every time they hear the roar of an engine or the whisper of the wind. Paul Walker wasn't just famous, he was loved. Because fame fades, but love stays. So tonight, as you remember him, don't think of the tragedy. Think of the laughter, the smiles, the light he left behind. Because somewhere out there, Paul Walker's spirit is still racing, not against time, but toward eternity. And that's the legacy of a legend, a man who lived fast, loved deep, and never stopped giving. Thank you for watching this emotional tribute to Paul Walker, a true star, not just on screen, but in life. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to hit the like button, share this video with others who loved him, and subscribe to Nation of Glory for more inspiring stories about the lives that moved the world. Until next time, keep your heart open, keep your faith strong, and remember, legends never die. They just drive into the sunset. Sunrise Blue Heart.